What's up guys, this is Anime Crossover. I'm back with a new episode of What If Naruto Was Goku's Descendant Part 9. And if you did enjoy the video, consider it like, if you're new to my channel and like my content, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more crossover fictions with a twist. Now let's begin this new video.
Emotions collide in Chapter 18. You could argue Naruto was pushing his training too hard right now, possibly overdoing it to make up for lost time, because if you glanced up into the sky, the afternoon was approaching and Naruto still hadn't returned from his training. Kakashi knew Naruto was still nearby, but he couldn't help but be concerned about the demon brothers. "Would you please go get Naruto, Sasuke? It's past midnight." Sasuke just gave him a nod as he walked away. "I swear Naruto is going to end up putting himself back in bed at this rate." While Naruto was sleeping from all of his hard training for the day, the rest of Team 7 alone with Konai and Kabuto were preparing for any possible scenarios that could occur during their final confrontation against Zabuza, the Demon Brothers, and Haku. Naruto had worked hard and it was time for him to rest, but it seemed that he slept for too long given the time of day. He would have seen the girl who appeared to be picking herbs in a basket if he wasn't now sleeping. It was, in fact, Haku. It's him. Haku couldn't help but remember Naruto's fight against Zabuza and him entering the aura spark condition. Haku moved forward, perceiving this as an open opportunity to murder the Leaf Ninja. Since as Haku approached, his arm lunged for his neck. You'd think he was going to choke him, but instead of grabbing his neck, his hand grabs Naruto's shoulder, shaking him. "You need to wake up." Naruto awoke from his slumber when he noticed the so-called lady over him sitting himself up. "How are you, miss? You shouldn't be sleeping out here, especially if it gets dark, because you could catch a cold." "You have my gratitude, then. I was just trying to catch up on my training." "Are you a ninja, judging by your headband?" "That's right, a Hidden Leaf Village ninja." "May I ask you a personal question then?" "Okay, what makes you fight?" "Why do I fight? What makes you want to be a ninja?" "That's a simple question to answer. I became a ninja since it was one of my ambitions, and my ambition is to become the Hokage of my village, and above all, the legend among legends. People in my village will have no choice but to respect me with all of that." "You wish to become stronger?" "Of course. Do you want some tips on how to get stronger?" "I'll take anything I can get. Do you have someone important to protect?" "Huh. If you have someone valuable to protect at any cost, it will make you that much stronger. Do you have someone special in your life?" Naruto considered it, and it was not difficult for him. He had a lot of people back home he needed to protect. Iruka, Ayame and her father, the third, Kakashi, Sasuke, Sakura, Konai, Kabuto, even the terrifying Anko, Tsunami, Tazuna, and even Inari, and, of course, Master Zen. "You're correct. I do. There are a lot of people who are important to me," Naruto replied with a smile. "I am glad you do. So, what exactly are you doing out here?" "Oh, I'm just gathering these herbs to assist a friend in my village." "Do these plants assist?" "That's right, they can be used for medical purposes for my friend, and with these kinds of herbs, they should speed up his recovery, and it has actually been doing very well so far, so he may be up and running again soon." "I'm not familiar with medical terminology, but that's pretty cool. Give my greetings to your friend and please convey my best wishes for his rapid recovery." "Thank you, and as a matter of fact, I should get going." "Okay." She stood up and walked away from Naruto, until she came to a halt and revealed something unexpected to him. "Oh, and, by the way, I'm a boy." That's when Naruto's eyes widen like dinner plates and he starts slapping his face back and forth, viewing him as a gorgeous female, and he even starts bonking his fists on his own skull. He looks prettier than Sakura. As Haku walked away, Sasuke entered the area and was going to pass the female who he didn't realize was actually a dude. As Sasuke was about to pass Haku, he noticed that Haku was gazing down somewhat as Haku passed him, leading Sasuke to come to a halt and stare back at the departing form of the so-called woman. Sasuke had suspicious eyes but opted to dismiss them, returning his attention to Naruto, who was now shaking his head left and right rapidly. He even observed Naruto rolling around back and forth on the ground like some crazed patient from a mental institution. It was just a few moments later that Naruto noticed Sasuke. "Sasuke, what exactly are you doing here?" "Looking for you." "Looking for me for what? Don't you know what time it is?" Naruto saw the approaching evening as he looked up at the sky. "Oh wow, I must have slept longer than I should have. Let's get back." Naruto decided to ask Sasuke a question while they were walking back to the house. "Hey, Sasuke? Can I ask you a personal question, if you don't mind? It depends. Okay, why are you so angry and distant? Sasuke came to a halt, leading Naruto to do the same. You'd never understand. Try me, I'm sure you heard what happened to my clan and who was to blame. I did, for those who haven't heard, then I'm sure you'll understand. You want to kill your brother, Itachi? That's when Sasuke turned to him, displaying his Sharingan eyes, and Naruto could see the man's hate when he said his name. Don't ever mention his name again, you got that? Sure. Sorry. Sasuke shifted his gaze away. That is why I need to get stronger, why I need more power. My entire being is dedicated to one single goal: revenge in the name of the Uchiha, the killing of that guy. All by yourself? Of course, says the author. Naruto jumped as Sasuke roared. When I cross paths with him again, he is mine and mine alone, and I don't want anyone interfering, and I mean anyone, including you. Only I have the authority to kill that man. So, what happens after you succeed? What are you going to do after you have killed him? I will restore my clan and the Uchiha name. You know what they say about a man who seeks revenge? Sasuke returned to Naruto, his Sharingan no longer with him. What? Naruto resumed his trek back to the house, and exactly as he passed Sasuke, he responded. If you're going to dig one grave, it might as well be two. This earned Sasuke a long hush as he watched Naruto go away. How could you possibly know what I'm going through? Sasuke muttered. Naruto stopped in his tracks once again, looked over his shoulder at Sasuke, who gave him a sneer. However, Sasuke unexpectedly attacked Naruto, throwing punches after punches and Naruto blocking or parrying each one as he backed away, with Sasuke shouting at him. You weren't the one who had his entire family taken away from him from the man he admired the most. You are not the one who wakes up in the morning with no one to greet him. You are not the only one alone. Sasuke threw a blow, which Naruto grabbed in his right hand with a strong hold. You would never understand my hatred. You're correct about one thing. Huh? Your hatred is one thing, but you're wrong about everything else, Sasuke. Am I mistaken? Naruto lets go of Sasuke's fist, taking a few steps away and looks off in an unknown direction. At the very least, you had a better life than I did. In fact, I'm somewhat envious. I never met my parents. I don't even have a picture or any information about what their names might have been. I was born an orphan with no family who wanted to adopt me. I don't go home expecting someone to be waiting for me. I don't come home and sit around the table like any other typical family. When I go out on mission, I don't get up and see anyone to say good morning or farewell. At the very least, you had a family and a brother. I wished I had a brother, and I did find one in someone I used to know. Naruto returned his gaze to Sasuke, who was wondering who that one person Naruto saw as a brother was, and he had no clue Naruto had it so tough. In all honesty, despite what the other kids said, Sasuke had no idea Naruto didn't have any parents because his emphasis was always on getting stronger. I never did. But I still made friends along the way who were there for me, whether old or new, and that includes you. Sasuke genuinely raised an eyebrow at Naruto for this. He sees me as a friend? I'll never understand your hatred, but I can understand your loneliness, and the only difference in our lives apart is that I've had it far worse than you. I had no idea. About you. What's it like? What's it like to have a family? When someone asks such question, it's actually very sad, and Sasuke truly felt sad for Naruto because he has never had a family. It was nice before my clan was killed. I'm betting it is. There was stillness between the two as Naruto gazed off to the ground, fantasizing about something that was obvious. Let's get back to business, Naruto. It's starting to become dark. As he made his approach toward the home, Sasuke murmured. When Naruto returned to his home, practically all of the ninja were gathered in the kitchen, with only Naruto, Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura there. Konai and Kabuto were currently making rounds outside around the perimeter to be on the safe side. As Naruto completed his bowl of food, he noticed the photo on the wall with Tsunami and Inari in it, and one of their faces ripped out. What kind of person was it? Tsunami. Yes, Naruto. If you don't mind me asking, who is the person whose face was ripped out of the picture? The silence of dishes being washed by her was heard, and Naruto realized he had asked something inappropriate. I'm sorry for doing something I shouldn't have. It's okay. Inari's father is my spouse. Where is he? Sakura inquired. He's in a much better place right now, she responded as she proceeded to wash dishes. His name was Kaiza, and he was a great man and a great hero. Tazuna expressed his sadness. Whatever happened to him? Naruto inquired. Kaizo was just a fisherman who did so much for our country that the people regarded him as a hero. He saved Inari from drowning one day when a couple of small punks, one of whom knew he couldn't swim, tried to drown him. He and Inari hit it off right away, and Kaiza and Tsunami fell in love, and Kaiza became Inari's father and my son-in-law. How did he become known as a hero to this country? Kakashi inquired. There was a storm, and the dam needed to be closed because the waves would have harmed the village and its people. He swam through the roaring tides, putting his life in danger, and closed the dam, saving the hamlet. He gave this country hope. But then, Naruto questioned, urging him to go on. Gato showed up, exclaimed the narrator. Tizuna was enraged. Please don't tell me. Naruto pondered as he slowly lowered his head and closed his eyes. Kaizo was opposed to Gato, and Gato, not wanting any thorn in his side, no matter how big or small, had him executed in front of the entire village, and Inari was there. Sakura exclaimed, while the others remained silent as Naruto's hands formed fists. Gato claimed there were no heroes and that anyone who challenged him would be dealt with in the same way that Kaizo was. He even got his arms severed when the person responsible was present that day. They even shoved it in Inari's face after Gato executed Kaiza, warning him to fear their names. What are their names? Kakashi inquired. Their names are Zenu and Johto, and they are brothers. They're two gigantic slobs. Zenu and Johto. Naruto thought to himself. Sakura expressed her condolences, saying, I'm so sorry for your loss. It's okay, and thank you. Tsunami explained. Outside, Konai yawns and Kabuto appears beside her, sitting on the rooftop and keeping watch. Everything checks out, there are no signs of any possible intrusion within the area. Kabuto was notified. How nice. Konai yawned once again. Konai, why don't you go back inside and get some sleep? You're going to be up all night? Of course, someone will have to keep an eye on you after your close encounter with the Demon Brothers. Are you absolutely sure? I'm certain. You're the boss. Konai let out another yawn and thanked her before leaving with the body flicker and Kabuto taking her place. All that remains is to wait. Everyone eventually went to bed knowing that Kabuto had offered to stay up all night just in case, and Naruto was about to do the same but needed to get a glass of water first. He thought he heard a commotion outside the kitchen window as he set the glass down for a second on the table, and as he looked outside, he missed the figure quickly dash by throwing something in his drink. Naruto was ready to step outside to investigate when Kabuto landed just outside the open window. Oh my goodness, Kabuto. Naruto? I thought I heard a noise, was that you? Most likely it was, and I apologize for alarming you. It must have. You should get to bed, Naruto, because you have a big day tomorrow guarding Tizuna at the bridge. Right, Naruto says as he collects his glass of water and heads up the stairs. Good night. Good night. Naruto, Kabuto remarked as he adjusted his glasses. Many moments later, deep within the forests of the Land of Waves, Haku was beside Zabuza's bedside, with the Demon Brothers not far away standing in the darkness. Zabuza was almost fully recovered, due to the plants Haku had been preparing for him as medicine. Tomorrow will be the day I will chop off Kakashi's head. Would you like to perhaps tip the odds in your favor? Inquired an unknown male voice. Hearing the voice, Haku and the Demon Brothers were on watch, looking out towards the direction of the voice in the shadows. Who's there? Questioned Zabuza. The man appeared to be wearing a cloak over his shape with a hood over his head and, from the looks of under the hood, appeared to be wearing a white mask over his face that resembled a snake. Let me assure you that I am not a threat to you. I have come here to provide you with valuable information as well as an offer from my master. And what kind of information do you have that could be useful to me? I understand that neither you nor Gato know the exact location of Tizuna's residence. Do you know where the bridge builder lives? Yes, and I can give you the location, and best of all, I can tell you that one of the Leaf Ninja won't be waking up anytime soon in the morning, and that ninja just happens to be one Naruto Uzumaki. That brat. Yes, and with him out of the picture, you can take care of the rest of the Leaf Ninja, including Kakashi, but Naruto Uzumaki is not to be underestimated. I suggest you send some of your own, perhaps the Demon Brothers, and maybe some extra bodies to make sure the job gets done. You take one ninja off your side, and Gato can have Tizuna's family. Who exactly are you? I am not willing to share that information with you. As for the offer, my master is willing to offer you and your allies asylum for as long as you want after you've finished with the ninja. Oh, and he requests that you let Sasuke Uchiha live because he is very interested in him. And who do you work for? He goes by the name Lord Orochimaru.
The missing ninja in the room, as well as Haku, all look surprised because who hasn't heard of that man?
Zabuza introduced himself as the White Snake. Yes, and if you are interested in his offer, you must come here as soon as your business is completed. The cloaked man tossed a little scroll to Zabuza, who caught it with one hand. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention that Lord Orochimaru is also willing to further support your ambition, Zabuza. What? The offer is valid for 48 hours beginning tomorrow, and Tizuna's address is as follows. The unknown man offered Zabuza a set of coordinates before disappearing into the darkness and departing the area. Farewell. Why would someone like Orochimaru want anything to do with us? Haku questioned. Yes, what reason indeed? Zabuza said as he proceeded to think. Once I finish this job, I'll get my money's worth to support my ambition in taking mist, but with Orochimaru, he's willing to help me. Something doesn't add up here. He's known for human experiments as well as seeking. Zabuza looks Haku in the corner of his eye, bloodlines. Zabuza, is there something wrong? Is it possible that this is a ruse? Could Orochimaru be after Haku? Zabuza? Haku, be prepared tomorrow for our final battle with the ninja of the Hidden Leaf Village, and as for those coordinates, Maizu and Gozu, share this information with Gado, and you will assault the house with whomever he sends. Zabuza, is it really necessary to involve the bridge builder's daughter and grandson? Why not just kill the ninja inside alone? Haku inquired. I want Kakashi to know that he failed to protect not only the bridge builder from my wrath, but also the bridge builder's family and his own little advanced genin. I want to see the despair in his eyes before he dies. As you desire, I will exact my vengeance tomorrow, Kakashi. Kakashi had to think Naruto overslept, but if he actually knew why he was so sleepy, he would suspect an enemy among them. Kakashi ordered otherwise, deciding to leave Naruto to sleep after failing to wake him up even by Konai's planned standards, for which she wanted to throw a pail of water over his face. After all, today may just be another day with no hint of danger at the bridge, and furthermore, he was confident that Naruto would awaken soon, and that when he did, he would receive his orders from Tsunami. When Naruto awoke, Kakashi instructed him to stay at the house for the sake of the family. Everyone knows Tizuna is the main goal, and Zabuza would presumably go after him, but there were the Demon Brothers, and Kakashi believed Naruto could defeat them. If not fight them, at least keep them off until Kakashi sends reinforcements Naruto's way back at the house, and as a safety precaution, Naruto was to signal problems by spiking his chakra. It was taught in academies these days in case of an emergency. But Kakashi was unaware of the plotting that was going on with the enemy against Naruto and them. Everything was routine until the gang of Kakashi, Kabuto, Konai, Sasuke, and Sakura came at the bridge. They didn't see any danger because they expected Zabuza to recuperate by the end of the week, which was scheduled to be the day the bridge would be finished, but that would have to wait. When it was tranquil, a particular mist overtook the region shrouding the bridge and the Leaf Ninja taking positions up around Tizuna, putting everyone on alert. While Kakashi and Kabuto were up front and back, Sasuke, Sakura, and Konai took positions surrounding Tizuna. This is Kakashi-sensei. Yes, Sakura, it's Zabuza's hidden mist jutsu. I thought you said he wouldn't be back by the end of the week, said Sasuke. It appears that he recovered much faster than we expected. Tizuna's voice resonated through the mist. That I have, Kakashi. So you're back, and I must say I'm impressed, Kakashi stated. Oh, Kakashi, I have yet to impress you, and I can't wait for the opportunity. Water clones of Zabuza suddenly appeared around them, each with their own scary glare for the Leaf Ninja, and they even observed how Sasuke was quivering. How pitiful that he is still trembling. I don't blame you because, unlike the last time you Uchiha scrap, you will not be leaving alive. Sasuke laughed. Huh? I'm trembling, with joy. Get him, Sasuke, Kakashi says, a smile hidden under his mask. The results of Sasuke's training over the week were evident, as the water clones were stunned when they were slashed through by Sasuke's sword, and they took note of how he was able to see them, and most importantly, how he had improved in his speed. Well, it appears that your brats have improved. The sound of footfall arriving from ahead of the group of Leaf Ninja was heard, but Zabuza was not alone, for he had that same tracker ninja at his side, none other than Haku, and Zabuza gained sight of the reinforcements. So, if 3 brats weren't enough for you, you got 2 more. I'm not sure why you bothered, it won't matter, and I can already tell that those 2 aren't good enough against me, especially Haku here. However, Zabuza noticed Naruto's absence. It appears that whoever that guy in the mask was true to his word. Great, I won't have to deal with that brat now. That's what you think, but I have a strong feeling that we'll be able to take both of you down, Zabuza. You're outnumbered 5-2, so I seriously doubt you'll be able to take me on without assistance, and I'm sure your friend won't make much of a difference. I never thought I'd live to see the day Kakashi displayed such arrogance. That's quite a surprise. Let me tell you something right now, Kakashi. Haku here alone can solo your band of brats if he wants to. They fell silent for a few moments as a result of this. You're bluffing, Kakashi called it. Oh, I don't bluff, Kakashi. I am a man of my word, and believe me when I say Haku is a force to be reckoned with. He is that much more dangerous than I. If there's one thing I despise, it's forgeries. Sasuke spoke as he walked up to the front of the group, breaking the formation. Kakashi, please let me fight this Haku. I want to take him out. How do you expect to beat Haku if you can't beat me? Zabuza mocked. Oh, don't worry, I'm more than enough for your tracker ninja impersonation. Kakashi was simply staring silently at Sasuke, who had his gaze fixed on Haku. Kabuto inquired, Kakashi, are you going to allow it? Kakashi made a decision shortly after. All right, Sasuke, but if things get out of hand, know that I or Kabuto will step in. Sasuke grinned. There will be no need. Don't be arrogant with me, Kakashi warned. Haku, don't take it easy on him for a second. Finish him quickly and without wasting time, do you understand? Yes. Sasuke takes his posture, mimicked by Haku, with Sasuke sheathing his sword and Haku simply standing there, not even raising his guard. There was stillness between the two as they just stared at each other until Haku broke it. Come. Sasuke ran toward Haku, quickly closing the space between them, and assaulted Haku with punches and kicks, only for Haku to block, dodge, or repel them away as the two circled each other. Although it appeared that the two were serious at the time, Haku was not even trying. As their combat progressed, it was clear that Haku had the upper hand. Yes, Sasuke's pace had increased, but Haku was keeping up with him, countering his attacks, and don't think Haku doesn't train. Haku sidesteps away as Sasuke's fist comes past him, and as Sasuke was, Haku clasped his hands around Sasuke's ankle and threw him over his shoulder toward a tractor. Sasuke manages to twist his body in time, landing on the tractor's roof, and immediately focuses his sight where Haku should be but isn't. Where did he go? Here I am. When Sasuke peered over his shoulder, the bottom of Haku's right foot smacked across his face, sending him flying over the tractor's roof into the air. He recovers himself in the air once more, countering by tossing multiple kunai and shuriken towards Haku, who lazily fully stands himself up as the sharp items come his way. Zabuza warned Haku not to be gentle with him, so Haku placed his hands together, making a seal, and what appeared before Haku, startling everyone except Zabuza, was what appeared to be an ice mirror. As Sasuke falls on his feet, the kunai and shuriken bounce off and away, falling helplessly to the ground. Sasuke turned to Haku and his summoned ice mirror to assess the situation, which appeared to be fast changing. Haku simply hops from the tractor's roof, taking the lead over Sasuke, who appeared befuddled at the time. What is the hell is going on? This is bad. Zabuza may not have been bluffing about Haku after all, and Sasuke, be careful for whatever that jutsu of his was just now. Kakashi had never seen a jutsu like this before, and it appeared that Haku was going to be an opponent that Sasuke couldn't win, at least not alone. Even though he had allowed Sakura and Sasuke to train, he believed they still had little chance against this Haku, but they did have Kabuto and Konai, but Haku could be beyond them as well. However, no matter how big or tiny, they have not yet been defeated. When the struggle is not between the strongest and the smartest, Haku had to have a flaw for them to exploit. They only had to discover one. Sasuke kept his composure as he drew his sword from his sheath, while Haku raised his right hand, displaying 3 senbon needles gripped beneath his knuckles. You may have improved since your battle with Zabuza, but even at your current strength, you are no match for me right now, Haku stated. After a roar, Sasuke charged Haku, who met his charge, and the fight quickly developed into a sword versus senbon needles battle. Now, Sasuke had skill with the sword, but witnessing how he was being countered like this by Haku with nothing but a senbon needle was starting to get to him, especially since Haku seemed to be opposing him so easily. It was then that Sasuke raised his sword again, but the sharp ends of Haku's senbon needles came to a rest only a centimeter before his neck, and Haku appeared before him with remarkable speed. This caused Sasuke to leap back, putting distance between himself and Haku, who could have killed him but didn't. What the hell just happened right there? I didn't see it coming. I request your surrender because I do not wish to kill you. As he continued to stare at Sasuke, Haku gently dropped his needles. Meanwhile, Konai, who was observing, was really amazed by this Haku. Wow! Konai exclaimed. What do you mean, wow, Konai? Sakura inquired. I've never seen anyone move that fast before, Haku. Really? No, this is a first for me. In fact, I don't think I know anyone who can move that fast or have seen anyone do so. In fact, I don't think Sasuke's bloodline would be enough right now. Haku, you gave the Uchiha a chance. Now stop toying with him and finish him off, commanded Zabuza. Haku raised his hands to form his magical seal. His chakra spread across the ground surrounding him, appearing to have frozen in ice, and suddenly 4 ice clones of Haku emerged, standing around the actual Haku. I'm sorry it's come to this. Ice clone jutsu. Ice clone jutsu? Asked Kakashi, who had never heard of such a technique. Ever heard of it? Kabuto inquired. No, I haven't. I've never seen or heard of an ice clone in my entire life. This doesn't look good for Sasuke then. In silence, Sasuke examined the clones to assess the situation. Do you think clones will help you against me? If so, you'll have to do better than that. It appears that you are underestimating my jutsu as well as mistaking my ice clones for a clone of mere illusion. I am sure you are familiar with Naruto's shadow clone jutsu. I am sorry to inform you Uchiha, but these clones are similar to his, only mine are made out of ice, but unlike the shadow clone jutsu, these clones will not go out with a single hit. They are much more durable and... Go to hell, murmured Sasuke. As Haku's 4 ice clones sprint toward him, Sasuke repositions his sword, tossing it up in the air, catching it in a reverse hold in one hand and spinning out a kunai in the other. When they got close enough, Sasuke threw the kunai at the clone that was charging at him, but the clone simply panted its head, escaping the knife. However, the kunai was traveling for the real Haku, who simply panted his head as well but took notice of something wrapped around the hilt of the kunai, which was a paper bomb. At the same time the kunai explodes on the actual Haku. Uchiha leaps into the air with the 4 ice clones now beneath him and fires a fireball at them, engulfing them in flames. Sakura said, Sasuke got the real Haku and his clones. Sasuke returns to the bridge, gazing over his shoulder at the raging inferno, and then returns to where the real Haku was standing, looking at the billowing smoke. Sasuke continued to stare as the haze slowly dissipated, smiling contentedly because he couldn't see Haku. Kakashi-sensei, Sasuke has gotten him. Did Sasuke really just kill Haku? Kabuto thought, continuing to watch. Sasuke focused his attention on Zabuza, who was just crossing his arms across his chest. Too bad he wasn't as good as you made him out to be. Zabuza didn't say anything. All he did was jerk his head to the right, causing Sasuke to gaze to the left, and then... Smack. Haku's right fist was introduced across the left side of the astonished Sasuke's face, which was catapulted through the air, allowing Sasuke to recover, flipping to safety on his feet, and looking to Haku in astonishment, now boasting a bruise on his cheek. Did I keep you waiting? Questioned Haku. He managed to dodge Sasuke's kunai bomb at the last second, Konai said. What could this mean? Kakashi mused, looking for an explanation for Haku's power. He's simply fascinating. He can create ice and his speed is impressive, Kabuto observed as he gathered data. If that wasn't enough, they all watched as all 4 of Haku's ice clones walked out of the dying fire, looking unhurt and taking places on opposite ends of the real Haku, adding to Sasuke's shock, rage, and perplexity. How are your ice clones still standing? Fire melts ice, and they should be nothing more than puddles of damn water. You can't melt this ice. Then it looks like it's about time for me to step up. Sasuke closed his eyes before opening them and exposing Sharingan. Of course, the Sharingan, Haku answered, seeming bored. Whatever this jutsu of his is, I will see it right now. This time, it was Sasuke who charged Haku and his clones, but before he could even get close to the actual one, he vanished within the mist, indicating that he, too, understands the hidden mist jutsu. With the original Haku no longer present, his 4 ice clones sprinted toward Sasuke, matching his charge and engaged him in a 4-on-1 duel. Sasuke assaults Haku Ice Clone 1 with his sword and fists, but all that clone was doing was sidestepping in evasion, ducking under his strikes, and parrying them away as it backed away on the defense. Sasuke was ready to strike again when he heard Haku Ice Clone 2 from behind him about to strike him with a kick on his blind side, but Sasuke managed to avoid in time, back flipping over it, hoping that the Ice Clone would kick the other he was just attacking. Haku Ice Clone 1 intercepted Haku Ice Clone 2's kick. Damn! Yelled Sasuke as he rose to his feet. This time, Sasuke is placed on the defensive as Haku ice clones 3 and 4 close in on him, both equipped with Senbon needles between their fingers, as though carrying Wolverine swords in both hands. Sasuke was now escaping the punches and slashes of both Haku ice clones hitting him at the same time, and as he continued to escape or block with his sword while backing away, it became more difficult for him. Their attack pace was faster than before, and even Sasuke with his Sharingan was barely keeping up, but keep in mind that Sasuke's Sharingan is still not fully matured. Sasuke had to pull back as one of the ice clones sliced for his face, and Sasuke does not escape completely unscathed as the sharp tips of the needles slash across the right side of his cheek, drawing blood. As blood began to pour, Sasuke whirled away from the ice clones, falling to his knees and throwing the ice clones a furious scowl. Even if they are his clones, they are getting faster and faster, and I can't keep up with my Sharingan. Sasuke held his sword up to his face, staring at his mirror and seeing the nasty slashes across his cheek, the top one being so close to his eye that he had to close his right eye almost halfway. My Sharingan can't even see through his attack. What's more, I can't seem to copy it, then that could only mean. Meanwhile, Kakashi had seen enough to realize Sasuke was in peril. Kabuto, yes? With me, let's go, right? Before the two can even take a step forward, Zabuza appears in front of them, his arms folded across his chest, blocking their passage. And where do you think you're going, Kakashi? Leaving the bridge builder unguarded even with those two back there is not wise for someone like you, Kakashi. If you try assisting the Uchiha, the both of you will have to deal with me, and what were you thinking you'd have left the bridge builder wide open for me to kill? There's no way you'd be able to beat both of us at the same time. Kakashi, even if you did manage to kill me, there is no way you would be a match for Haku, and you know it. Kakashi, will you go in to assist the Uchiha, leaving me to kill the bridge builder, or will you sit back and wait to see who is left standing? Another Haku clone is seen interrupting Sasuke's path and kicking him onto the ground, forcing him into a tumble. Kakashi, decisions, decisions, decisions. Meanwhile, Kabuto was watching how Haku was decimating Sasuke, and it seemed that Orochimaru's offer was simply declined. He must have suspected Orochimaru was after Haku, but he cannot let Sasuke die. Without Zabuza's knowledge, Kabuto reaches into his pouch and pulls out what appears to be a very thin yet little kunai blade laced in a substance. Kabuto, seeing an opening, leaps forward toward Zabuza, his poisoned kunai aimed at Zabuza's neck, but Zabuza is faster here, slapping the weapon out of Kabuto's grasp and disarming him. Zabuza's hands immediately reach up, swinging his blade from behind him, slamming Kabuto across the head with the blunt side of his sword, sending the ninja flying across the bridge till he comes to a stop unconscious. Kabuto, Konai was about to move, but Kakashi ordered him not to. No, Konai, don't move, it's exactly what Zabuza wants. But Kabuto is hurt, says the narrator, he is still alive, he is just unconscious. I have no idea what went through his mind to try that, but I'll get to him after Haku kills the Uchiha and I kill you and the rest of your failures, Zabuza stated, leaning his blade on his right shoulder. Meanwhile, Sasuke was being pummeled by the Haku ice clone standing before him on one knee, with the real Haku perched atop the crane in the backdrop observing. These ice clones attacked in a group, showing no mercy to him. Sasuke's outfit was covered with slashes and torn holes. It's too bad I can't copy his jutsu, otherwise, it would tip the scales in my favor. After all, one bloodline can't copy another. Sasuke managed to remark before being slapped across the face by one of the Haku. Of course that explains it. The ice clones and the ice mirror he used as a shield. It's a Kekkei Genkei, Kakashi said, eliciting a laugh from Zabuza. Of course, that explains why Sasuke can't copy any of his jutsu, Sakura pointed out. Sasuke is already so used to using his Sharingan to tip the scales in his favor in any battle, but since he is up against another bloodline user, Konai trailed off. You're right, Kakashi, but even though you and the Uchiha back there have Sharingan, neither of you can copy the jutsu Haku has in his arsenal. Sharingan or not, he was fighting a losing battle from the start, as were the rest of you, Zabuza stated. You're finished, Haku exclaimed as he held his arm up in the air to swoosh it down. The 4 ice clones ran at Sasuke, intent on killing him. Sasuke, Sakura yelled, terrified, no way, not yet. The real Haku, seeing this, made a hand seal from his position, forming 4 separate ice mirrors before his clones, who leaped toward their individual ice mirrors as the ball of fire rapidly closed in. The ice clones appeared to have caused it to phasing within their mirrors, with the mirrors appearing to melt and fall to the ground as the fireball passed over them, missing its targets. The real Haku, meanwhile, leaps off the top of the crane he was standing on as Sasuke's fireball collides with it, sending it plummeting off the bridge into the lake below. Sasuke falls on his knees almost completely out of chakra, to the point where his Sharingan is no longer existent. Then, out of nowhere, the ice mirrors surrounded Sasuke, and stepping out of them, surprising not only Sasuke but the rest of the Leaf Ninja, were all the Haku ice clones, who were fully undamaged. Sasuke was once again taken aback by this man's bloodline, who appeared before him with his arms crossed across his chest. It's incredible that he can use the ice mirrors not just as a shield, but also as transportation for his clones and, no doubt, himself, Kakashi stated. Sasuke merely keeps glaring at the genuine Haku in front of him, growling. "You're rather dull." Sasuke's eyes widen as he realizes what Haku had just called him. He called Sasuke dull. Even though these were not the precise words that the man had said to him, he couldn't help but recall them. On the same night his entire tribe was slain by his older brother, his brother told him that he was not even worth killing. Sakura exclaimed, "Kakashi-sensei, we have to help him. There is nothing we can do right now," Konai exclaimed. "If any of us moves, he has a good chance of getting past Kakashi, past me, and past Yuta Tazuna." All they could do was watch as Sasuke struggled to stand, his sword poised, and the real Haku just uncurled his arms and walked toward Sasuke. When Sasuke charges, Haku raises his left fist, stopping the blade with the needles between his fingers and counters Sasuke by striking his right fist into his face, causing him to stagger back. As Sasuke stumbles back to one of the ice clones, it attacks him, forcing him to another, and the process repeats until Sasuke feels like he's in a mosh pit, but just this one is fighting him. After another ice clone attacks him, kicking him toward the real Haku, Sasuke rears back a fist punching it forward, and Haku ducks under it to counter by delivering the bottom of his right elbow into his back, shooting him face fist into the concrete behind him. Kakashi had had enough and stepped forward, leading Zabuza to tighten his grasp on his blade. "I don't think so, Kakashi, because if you leave to help him, who will stop us from killing the bridge builder? Certainly not them back there." "Damn you." Haku approached Sasuke, holding a single needle, hoping to finish him off quickly rather than cruelly, which is more of a mercy from someone like Haku. Sasuke shifts his form to face the oncoming Haku, who is getting closer and closer. "I apologize once more for having to come to this." Zabuza laughs. "So, which is it, Kakashi? Save your little genin." Haku comes to a halt as Sasuke reaches down and grabs his collar, lifting him up. "Or will you stay and protect the bridge builder?" Haku raises his right hand, laden with needles, to strike down on Sasuke, who can't do anything right now because he's out of chakra. "It's your choice, Kakashi, but know that you will still lose." "Sasuke Uchiha, please forgive me," Haku pleaded. Sasuke's eyes widen as time seems to slow down as the needles descend upon him and everyone else can only watch. "Is this it? Is this it?" During the combat at the bridge, a group of 4 approached Tazuna's mansion, led by the 2 familiar loyal samurai guards of Gato, Zori, and Woriji. They were not alone as they came to a halt on the dock, with 2 very large men stopping behind them, both carrying large long saw-like blades. "So this is where that wannabe hero's family lives, huh?" inquired one of the 2 enormous males. "Yeah, this should be easy pickings," Zori remarked. "Not to mention that one of the Leaf Ninja is handed to us on a silver platter to kill," Woriji explained. "You've said it, Woriji. We want the woman," said the second enormous man. "Gato wants Tazuna's daughter, and he has plans for her," Zori pointed out. "At the very least, give us some time with her after this. We want to enjoy as much of the leftover scraps as we can," remarked the other man. "You'll have to take that up with Gato, and as for the kid, get rid of him quickly. You 2 slobs, just leave the ninja to us." As Inari walked through the house, he noticed 2 men carrying samurai blades outside one of the living room windows, but the other 2 enormous men trailing behind them hit him to the core. Seeing those 2 made him angry and scared. "Mom." Inari bolted for the kitchen. "Inari, what exactly is it?" I, it's them, Mom." "Who?" "TT, those 2 cretins who murdered my father." Tsunami can only gasp in surprise. "How did they find us?" Meanwhile, Naruto appeared to be fast asleep upstairs until he began to stir. "It's time for you to wake up, stupid boy." Naruto's eyes sprung open, revealing his senses, and he immediately sensed danger in the air, detecting it from outside as he narrowed his eyes. While Inari was downstairs in the kitchen with his mother, they heard footsteps descend from the stairs, and at the bottom was none other than Naruto, who had his head directed in the direction of the front entrance of the house. His pupils constricted as he became aware of the impending threat. "Naruto, you're awake. Inari, you stay here with your mother," Naruto said as he walked toward the door, his face devoid of anxiety. "I will take care of this." "Naruto, you don't know who you're up against." Naruto comes to a halt in his tracks, his back to them, and does not turn around. "Inari, I need you to have faith in me. Wah. I need you to believe in me, okay? You also need to protect your mother, and I will not allow them to touch both of you, do you understand?" For a brief period, Inari imagined Kaiza seeing him in Naruto. Was this a hero in front of him? Naruto moved closer to the door. The group of 4 outside comes to a halt as the front door slowly opens, and standing his ground outside is none other than Naruto Uzumaki. "Is that the ninja you two were talking about?" remarked one of the large men quietly. "From what we've heard, he was supposed to be out," Wariji responded. "So you must be Gado's men? I will give you 4-1 chance to walk away or prepare for a world of pain." The 2 massive men in the back look to laugh, with the 2 samurai merely smiling as Inari opens the front door and looks outside to find Naruto standing his ground against them. "Zori and Wariji, please let us look after this little runt, he doesn't look like much anyway." Inari opens the front door and looks out, noticing Naruto standing stubbornly in front of the group ahead of him, and he quickly notices the 2 enormous men with the long saw-like blades. Inari began to cry and scowl at the 2 guys, and Naruto heard Inari shift one of his feet, prompting him to peek over his shoulder and see Inari. "Inari, please go back inside right now. Why you cretins?" Inari's eyes were welling up with tears. "Inari? Hey there little boy, remember us?" teased one of the huge men. "TT, that's them. Who?" Naruto inquired. Naruto returned his gaze to the 2 guys as Inari raised an accusing finger and pointed at them. "Those are the bastards that killed my father." Inari's mother pulls him away from the door at this point. "You mean, and, as we did with Kaiza, we intend to do the same with you." Naruto gazed at the 2 guys, stunned, remembering the names of Kaiza's executioners, Zenu and Jodo. Zenu and Jodo both chuckle, with the 2 samurai in the back only smirking, and Naruto's eyes quickly narrowed upon the 2, a huge hatred seen in his gaze. "So you're the ones who killed Kaiza?" "Yeah, that's us, and what are you, a little punk like you, going to do about it?" Zenu inquired. "He appears to be attempting to be a hero," Jodo observed. "You are correct, brother, and everyone knows what we do to heroes, especially the last one. This little punk doesn't appear to be too much trouble. By all means, I'm sure the 2 of you wouldn't mind proving it," Naruto mocked. Zenu was the first to approach Naruto, walking along the pier and pausing just before Naruto in the center, staring down at him and Naruto up, not intimidated at all. "Just like we did with Kaiza, we're going to take your arms and enjoy your agonizing screams. The only person who will scream fat ass is you. What exactly did you just call me?" Zenu was displeased, as evidenced by the look on his face, whilst Naruto simply smiled. "Oh, and speaking of arms, I intend to take yours." "You're going to take my arms now? That's just hilarious. The best thing about this for you is that as I slap you around, you'll get quite a workout just to lose a couple of pounds, and who knows, maybe when you do, someone will take you more seriously instead of looking away with disgust." Zenu was enraged as he gazed down on this leaf ninja who simply kept smirking up at him, while Inari and Tsunami thought Naruto was nuts talking to these killers. "What's wrong?" Naruto inquired. "You pathetic little shit. You mad?" As he glanced at Naruto, Zenu's rage grew stronger. "Then come on at me, bro." Zenu growls as he raises his blade overhead, intending to swing it down on Naruto, but all it did was slice through the pier, striking nothing but air and wood, but if he had looked behind him, he would have discovered Naruto standing behind him. "Zenu, look behind you," shouted Jodo. Zenu looked over his shoulder and saw Naruto while taking his blade out, and before he could even counter-attack, he is tripped when Naruto's foot swipes under his legs, causing him to fall onto his back onto the pier, causing the pier to creak. Naruto just sprang up in the air, delivering the bottom of his left foot into Zenu's stomach, causing him to spit up saliva and gasp for air, before flipping frontwards and landing back on his feet with his back to the fallen Zenu, smiling. "Zenu, get up." Zenu sits up, looking at Naruto's turned back before grasping his blade. "It must be exhausting for someone like you to even get out of bed in the morning. I must have slept for 5 seconds just now while you gathered yourself. You little punk think you can mock me and get away with it? Naruto calmly motioned Zenu forward with his right hand while keeping his back to Zenu, his level of rage skyrocketing. You're dead, says the narrator. Zenu yells again, raising his sword high, taking one step forward, and then... crack. The pier beneath Zenu suddenly gives way, and he falls through and into the water, his blade splashing into the water. Good idea, you actually smelled like you needed a bath. It was good timing, don't you think? Naruto mocked as he turned around. Zenu gets out of the water on the opposite side of the pier from Naruto, who has just crossed his arms across his chest, waiting for the man to orient himself. Naruto growled at Zenu over his shoulder, and when he yelled aloud in wrath again while facing his direction, Naruto rushed forward, smashing his left elbow into Zenu's stomach. Zenu catches his breath as he steps back from Naruto. Seriously, this is just sad. An attack like that from someone like me hurting you is a bad sign, and you obviously need to stop eating sweets. Zenu gets down on one knee, followed by his brother. Zenu, what's wrong? This kid is just too good. What little brat like him is giving you a hard time? You guys know I'm a ninja, right? Naruto inquired. I've taken down men far superior to the two of you, and they were both C-rank missing ninja. They could have taken that strike with ease, but you guys are like flies to me. Do you expect us to believe that a kid like you took on any missing ninja? Not a chance, Johto responded. Then, by all means, both of you come and prove me wrong. Let's go and get him. Zenu charges first, with his brother close behind with blade in hand and Naruto lifting his arms up, a malicious smile on his face. He waited for Zenu to get closer before leaping up and over the man, kicking the back of his right heel into the back of Zenu's head, sending him face first into the wooden pier, and Johto, who followed close behind, intended to attack the still airborne Naruto, who only chuckled as he kicked his left foot into Johto's face, sending him back off his feet onto the pier. Naruto lands between the two fallen brothers, his arms crossed across his chest once more. Look at that Woriji, he's toying with them, Zori noticed while on land. Naruto said again while Zenu and Johto were attempting to re-establish their balance. You know what's funny? I'm pretty sure you guys knew about me and that I stood up to someone like Zabuza, and yet you still think you can take me out? The nerve. Zenu responded, I'll show you. Naruto glanced toward Zenu, observing the man pull out a kunai with a paper bomb attached to it. You only have one shot, so don't squander it, Naruto said. Zenu tosses the kunai at Naruto, who just leaps into the air, going straight under between his legs as he stated aloud with his eyes closed and a satisfied smile. Oops. Zenu realized his mistake as his eyes widen like dinner plates and his bottom jaw drops in a funny comedic-like fashion as he sees the kunai flying toward him, and Johto manages to duck in time with hands overhead. This time it was Zori and Wariji's turn to have horrified looks on their faces' dinner-sized plate eyes as the kunai approached them. Both Zori and Wariji leap away from one another as the kunai detonates, its explosion reverberating loudly and prompting the birds in the trees to flee the area. Zenu, you idiot, what were you thinking? You could have killed me, shouted Johto at his brother. I'm sorry, brother, but I was aiming for him. You could have killed us to you, dumb ass. Zori shouted from the ground. He's making you angry on purpose, idiot, use your head, shouted Johto. Naruto smirked, yeah Zenu, use that empty head of yours. Zenu allows his wrath to blind him as he charges toward Naruto with his hands in the air, ready to grasp him. Wow, you're so easy to irritate. When Zenu reaches Naruto, he simply throws one strike, which Naruto easily ducks beneath. Of course, battling two morons like this was easy for him. He'd been in much harder fights in a camp full of robbing and stealing bandits, as well as missing ninja, and those were all difficulties. After ducking, Naruto delivered another punch into the man's stomach, causing him to hunch over, and Naruto quickly delivered a series of quick punches across his face from his left and right, finishing with an uppercut, sending Zenu back onto the pier with Naruto's back to him. Zenu now had bruises on his face and a bleeding nose, but he was still alive as his shape twitched. Oh, it's not over for you just yet. Remember what I said about your arms? Naruto replied, looking over his shoulder at the downed Zenu. Two Naruto shadow clones appeared out of the ocean from both sides of the pier they were battling on, slamming the soles of their feet against Zenu's individual arms. A powerful crack echoes, indicating that the shadow clones just broke both of Zenu's arms, causing him to howl in anguish. Zenu! Johto exclaimed, concerned. To silence Zenu, one of the shadow clones slams his right fist into his face, knocking him out. Naruto Shadow Clone 1 replied, that's better. I thought he'd never stop talking, Naruto Shadow Clone 2 stated. Nice work, you guys, you're fired. The Shadow Clones leave, leaving Naruto with Johto to go, and he will take care of the samurai. Hey, Johto, I hope you perform a lot better than your brother. How dare you do that to my brother? Shouted Johto as he stood up, sword in hand. You make it sound as if I killed him, and you should be grateful that I didn't. I'm going to get you for this, and you will pay. Johto was about to throw his blade at Naruto when a ki blast from Naruto's left hand hits Johto's right arm, causing him to lose grip on the blade and his right arm to go limp, exhibiting symptoms of damage, and Johto to grunt loudly in pain. Naruto, still holding his left hand toward Johto, lowers it with an angry grimace. The only people who will pay here are you and your boss Gato. You will all answer for your crimes. Naruto suddenly vanished from his position using the body flicker, and it appeared as if no hand sign was used, appearing beside Johto in midair, delivering his left leg into Johto's left arm, creating that familiar echo of bone breaking, and Johto hitting ground upon the pier and knocking him out, but by kicking him in the back of the head, just like he did Zenu. Like I promised, you took Kaisa's arms, so I took yours. Naruto turned to face the two Zori and Wariji, who were standing on land with a bead of sweat running down their brows. Naruto steps off the pier into green land, just across from the two samurai who stare at him in silence. That was an impressive show you put on, kid, Zori says as he reaches for the hilt of his sheathed blade. Yeah, you just took down a pair of oversized cows, Wariji replied. I'm sorry, but just by looking at you two, I can tell you're no match for me. What did you say? Zori demanded angrily. Do you know who you're talking to? Wariji demanded angrily. To be honest, I don't care, I'm just out here to take out the trash. Both Zori and Wariji lunge at Naruto, grasping the hilts of their swords and pulling them from their sheaths. When the two reach striking distance, they cut their swords, but they have a deja vu moment as they are both standing opposite Naruto with their backs to each other, swords thrust out in opposing directions, and their eyes open in shock. They were reminded of Haku. Zori. Wariji muttered quietly. He moved like him, Zori said in a similar tone. Bonus song. Glued state. Naruto merely gazed over his shoulder at Zori and Wariji's turned backs as the two stumbled back, putting some distance between themselves and Naruto, raising up their swords with beads of sweat running down their forehead, and Naruto slowly turning around face their direction. How did you move like that? Exclaimed Zori. Zori, what is this, kid? Wariji inquired. I'll give you 2 chances to lay down your swords and walk away in peace. Let's get him, exclaimed Wariji. Naruto just stood there as both Zori and Wariji rushed him again, and this time Naruto reached for his Z-staff, pulling it apart, and now armed with 2 Eskrama sticks, holding them both up to his opposite sides, catching the blades of both Zori and Wariji, and it looked like Naruto wasn't even breaking a sweat as he held both of them at bay. Both samurai leap away, putting distance between them and Naruto, who has lowered his weapons, and when he looks off to Wariji, Zori strikes. Naruto, on the other hand, counters by blocking his sword with one of his sticks and jabbing the other end into his chest, channeling his chakra through the weapon and delivering a jolt throughout Zori. Wariji rushes Naruto, who throws his Eskrama stick towards Wariji, spinning swiftly, and the stick collides with Wariji's forehead, letting him see stars as the weapon boomerangs back toward Naruto. Zori picks himself up while reaching for his sword, and once he has it in his grasp, he howls aloud, rearing his blade overhead to slash upon the turned Naruto, but the ninja simply shifts his body, letting his thrown Eskrama stick that just bounced off Wariji do the same to him, knocking him out. Naruto raises his right hand, catching the stick in his hand and reattaching it to form the entire Z-staff. He had killed Kaisa's executioners as well as Gato's 2 samurai guards, and both Inari and Tsunami had watched it. Naruto, he was amazing, exclaimed Inari, who was taken aback by his performance. Nicely done, remarked a familiar voice to Naruto. Naruto looks over his shoulder and notices the demon brothers, Maizu and Gozu, who materialize before him. Oh look, it's you guys again. Yes, we meet again, and this time your sensei isn't there to save you from us, and he won't be for much longer, Maizu explained. What exactly do you mean by? Naruto realized at that point. Zabuza is back, says the narrator. We're pretty sure your entire squad will be dead any minute now, Gozu remarked. You shouldn't underestimate my friends, they can take an eyebrowless freak any day of the week. Not against Haku, Maizu explained. Haku? You won't have to be concerned about them for long, you'll be joining them soon. You think that will scare me? Please, with how strong I am now, I don't need Kakashi-sensei here to watch over me. I have a strong feeling that I will be just fine. I'll take care of you too, and once I'm done here, I'll be off to take care of your master and this Haku. We'll see about that, won't we? Gozu mocked. Optional song conclusion. Naruto then saw something different. They were not bound together by a chain this time, most likely due to how Naruto countered their first assault. In all honesty, both Gozu and Maizu were nervous at this point since they witnessed Naruto avoid the samurai while showcasing his speed, and it reminded them of Haku. They hadn't seen him move that fast in almost a week, and he was already going that fast, not that the pace he exhibited was Haku's top speed. With no more words spoken, Gozu attacked first, sprinting toward Naruto, who stood his ground, hitting his sharpened gauntlet forward, but Naruto responded by deflecting with his Z-staff, but looking to his right, Naruto sees Maizu approaching. Maizu threw his gauntlet's sharp claws toward Naruto, who managed to sneak under between Gozu's knees, and Gozu, realizing what he'd done, had to bend his head back to avoid his own brother's poison-laced talons. That was too close, Gozu commented. Sorry about that. Now is not the time. Both Gozu and Maizu charge Naruto, who stands his ground once more, spinning his staff in his palm as they get closer, pulling his hidden kunai that was sheathed behind his sash. Naruto was on the offensive once more, backing away while blocking the strikes of Gozu and Maizu's razor steel talons with both his Z-staff and his hidden kunai. Naruto effectively deflected every strike they threw at him, and the demon brothers thought they saw a smile on Naruto's lips as he blocked. Is he smiling? In a rage, Gozu proceeded to strike Naruto, who continued to deflect their strikes. Whatever happened to him? Maizu couldn't believe Naruto had gotten this good so quickly. Naruto leapt back from the assault, the demon brothers closing the distance between them quickly, but Naruto used his Z-staff to pole vault over them, giving them the slip for the moment, and when the demon brothers quickly turned around, Naruto was still in mid-air facing their direction, his hands ready to perform a certain blinding light. Solar flare, said someone. A brilliant light bursts forth, taking the demon brothers off guard as their eyes were wide open at the closeness. The demon brothers covered their eyes with their hands as they closed their eyes in misery. Naruto emerged in the center of them, leaping up into the air between them, delivering his right fist into Gozu's face and the bottom of his left foot into Maizu, who was behind him. The brothers both fell to the ground before rapidly recovering and leaping back to their feet, and it appears that they did not have the ability to fight by sound like Zabuza, which was a big advantage for Naruto. He emerges before Maizu upper, cutting him up into the air and then leaps up into the air, delivering the bottom of his left heel on Maizu's face, sending the ninja flying down. Maizu lands on the ground head first, causing Naruto to glance at the ninja with shocked eyes and horror running up his spine. Is he? Maizu did not appear to move until he noticed his figure twitch, which caused him to exhale a sigh of relief. Naruto is aware that he is a ninja and understands what that entails, yet he is still terrified of taking a life. Naruto never considered himself as a killer and constantly pondered if being a ninja made him any different from any other murderer who wasn't a ninja. When someone from a community commits a murder, it is horrible and despised, but if it is a ninja from their town, it is tolerated since they are ninja. Coward, Naruto gasped as he heard the voice again, but his attention was quickly drawn away by Gozu's voice. Water whip jutsu, says the master. Naruto looked over his shoulder and saw Gozu whip at him with a water whip. Naruto did the only thing he could think of, which was to dodge. Naruto leaps up, escaping the water whip, which retracts back toward Gozu as Naruto lands facing the missing ninja with the Z-staff in one hand and the hidden kunai in the other. Naruto observed as the water whip came to rest around Gozu's form and was amazed by it. Interesting, that looks like some cool jutsu. Gozu's eyes were partially open, his vision still foggy, but he could see Naruto front of him, his brother unconscious on the ground behind him, and a shadow clone not far from his comatose body. You will have to pay for this. Shadow duplicate Naruto dashes forward, going around the real Naruto, who sits back to watch his shadow clone evade Gozu's water whip as it closed in, but when the shadow clone got close enough, Gozu quickly twirled the water whip around his form, creating a sort of tornado or more like a water whip tornado, if you can call it that. The shadow clone was pushed off its feet, poofing. It's obvious that he'll do that if he feels threatened that I'm getting too close, but maybe I can use that to my advantage. Naruto created the seal for the shadow clone jutsu, calling 10 shadow clones and commanding them all to attack at the same time. They all race toward Gozu, who prepares himself by whipping his water whip at any shadow clone approaching him, causing them to stop in their tracks and evade. The shadow clones surrounded him, but it was remarkable how quickly Gozu used the water whip to block each shadow clone that tried to attack him or get any closer, and he even managed to take out 2 of them. Naruto then has an epiphany and commands all of his shadow clones to leap Gozu, who does so from all sides. It won't work. Gozu twirls his water whip around his form, creating a tornado-like effect that catches the shadow clones within and repels them all away, and as they went up in smoke, he failed to notice the real Naruto above in the air with his hands cupped together near his left hip. It appeared to be a charged ki blast between his palms, and it was not the Kamehameha wave. Something caused Gozu to glance up, and when he did, he saw the real Naruto sending down the charged ki blast that was closing in on him, and he didn't have time to dodge. The charged ki blast collides with Gozu, causing a small explosion and Naruto to land safely on ground level. Looking up at the smoke rising into the air, and when it cleared, Gozu was damaged with cuts and bruises, pieces of his clothing torn away alone, and steam rising from his form, but he was still alive. No way. Beaten. By a. Kid. Gozu, like his brother Maizu, falls forward defeated, as do Zori and Wariji, as do Zenu and Johto. Naruto had single-handedly defeated the 6 men, all of whom were trained as assassins. He examined his hands. I really did become much stronger. However, he still had to make his way to the bridge and assist his teammates in their fight against Zabuza and Haku. Naruto, you did it. Naruto turned around to see Inari standing outside the door, smiling happily, with Tsunami standing alongside him. Did you see that, Mom? He was fantastic. I did. Naruto simply gave Inari a thumbs up, and Inari couldn't help but remember Kaiza giving him a thumbs up. In fact, if you looked closely, Naruto and Kaiza looked identical, which caused Inari cry. Naruto reunited with both Inari and Tsunami, but not before tying them all up around a tree with ninja wire, possibly 3 times the amount just to be sure, and taking away anything the Demon Brothers could use to cut themselves out, particularly their gauntlets. Your friends left you here to guard us while you were still sleeping, and frankly, I'm glad you did, Tsunami explained. Strange, I know I worked out hard yesterday, but I have no excuse for waking up this late? Naruto's attention was drawn to Inari, who was looking down. I'd like to apologize for what I did that night. I apologize for getting out of line. Hey, it's okay. Naruto smiled as he placed his palm atop Inari's head. I understand, Inari, and there is no need to apologize. Naruto turned to face Tsunami. You shouldn't be concerned about the 6 of these guys. I don't think they'll be moving for a long time. Now I must depart. Yes, we understand. Naruto, kick their asses. With a smile on his face and tears streaming down his cheeks, Inari remarked aloud. As long as you have faith in me, you can bet. Later, Naruto said, saluting. Naruto dashed for the trees, leaping from one tree to the other with all speed, and to help him, he even went so far as manipulating his ki that it seemed to flare around his form, leaping from one branch to the other, but he wasn't going to overdo it using too much ki because he wanted to save it. Naruto had a feeling he'd need as much money as he could save, not only for Zabuza but also for this Haku. Hold on, guys, I'm on the way. Will Naruto arrive on time? To be continued.
That's it for this podcast. Thanks for listening to this video. If you did enjoy this part of the story, like, share and subscribe for more. And thank you all for helping support and have a great day.